All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. College football week number 1. We got 4 picks coming your way. We got 3 spread picks and then 1 total to jump into in today's video. Yes, we're doing college football as much as we can this season on the channel this year. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. And before we jump into the picks, I do want to talk to you guys about the sponsor of today's video, OddsJam. If you don't know what OddsJam is, you are seriously missing out. One of the goated tools when it comes to sports betting and being able to beat the books. Let's jump in here and just look at a couple different tools that they have. All of these sportsbook tools here on the left are viable. First off, you have the sportsbook screen where you can look at every single offering from any sportsbook and get the best odds available. It's pretty much like if you're going to look for a car at a certain price, you might want to check all the other dealerships for the prices. You can go from money line, point spreads, total points, anything like that, guys. It is a really cool tool. This is just the base sportsbook tool screen that they have. In terms of, that dealership reference I made, let's go over to the positive expected value screen, which this is a really cool screen here. So you can see Sam Houston State versus BYU, the first half total points over 24.5 is a plus EV, meaning the odds for this line are beating other sportsbooks. And you can see actually on DraftKings, the only other one that we have selected, and you can say which sportsbooks you want selected in here, minus 120. You can get this for plus 110 over on WinBet. There is some value there. And then another tool they have, the parlay builder, which is just really cool. This is all built by obviously algorithms and everything like that. You can say how many legs you want in it. Let's do a 3-leg parlay with the odds being plus 395-ish, right? I already have FanDuel as a preferred sportsbook. Then we have the NCAA football there. We can literally say, show me my parlay, and boom, there is an algorithmically built parlay for plus 584, Iowa plus 10.5, the over 47.5 in Old Dominion Virginia Tech, and the Virginia Tech minus 7.5 in that game. We'll see. Maybe that cashes, maybe it doesn't. Keep an eye on week 1 to see if that goes through, but very cool. A lot of different offerings that OddsJam has, guys. So make sure to go check it out. You can get 25% off your first month, and there's more. You get 1 week free, 7 days free. Go check out OddsJam, guys. And let's go ahead and jump into game number 1 that we're looking at. We're looking at the game on Thursday here. It's going to be Utah hosting Florida here. So Utah, I do like in this spot. Right now, you can get them at minus 6.5. We found that best odds and best line using the OddsJam screen here, but there's a couple different reasons why I like the Utes in this game. First off, they have not lost a home game since 2020. Not necessarily against the spread. I get that. That's a way different sort of thing in this world, obviously, right? So it's not a money line pick. We're looking at the minus 6.5 right now, but they haven't lost a home game since 2020. They haven't lost an opener home game in God knows how long here. And Florida loses their QB and best offensive lineman in the draft this past season. Now the new Florida QB, Graham Metz, 19 touchdowns with 10 interceptions last year. Not the best ratio there. They're gonna rely on the run as Florida, and they do have a deep running back field there, right? But Utah, top 20 run defense last year, returning a lot of those guys. They lost one guy, but nonetheless, I do think that, they're bringing back pretty much that entire defensive line. And I like the fact that this is a Utah team that's returning plenty of players as well. I think 14 starters coming back for Utah, which is obviously something you like to see. And they have the better quarterback here, Cam Rising. That's kind of the question mark here, though. He did tear his ACL last season. Is he going to play week 1? They're keeping it kind of close to their chest. If he plays, I really do like Utah and the spread in this game. I think it's going to be a tough environment for Mertz to come out here and be able to go out there and perform, especially being, it's his first time sort of getting the reins of the team. They're relying on him, going up against a tough defense in a hostile environment against a team that is definitely better than them. So give me Utah in game number 1 of today's video. That is minus 6.5. If you guys do want to fade me, go right ahead, but that is going to be our first game pick today. Let's get to the next one. For game number 2, I could see this going both ways, so don't hate on me if you don't like this pick, but we are looking at Georgia Tech plus 7.5 against Louisville, and I'm kind of fading Louisville, if you will, rather than backing Georgia Tech. You have 2 new head coaches making their debut as head coaches for these 2 teams here. Brom on the side for Louisville here, and then Key for Georgia Tech, although he was the interim coach, obviously, you know, coming in, so he's familiar with this squad. And Louisville loses a lot of good players, right? They lose a couple key defensive guys. They lose Malik Cunningham, and they have Brom, who's a very, very pass-heavy coach. So you're looking at a new coach with a new offensive scheme, with a new quarterback. Now, the quarterback coming in, Plummer, I don't think is all that bad. I'm not really trying to rag on him, but there's got to be some sort of catch-up period getting into the scheme. Him and Brom are familiar with each other, so I guess that's good, right? But nonetheless, the rest of the team, I think that there's going to be a little bit of a struggle there because they have a new coach. Never mind that, they also have a new defensive coordinator, so a new coach with a offensive mindset. The defensive coordinator is brand new. I do think that there's going to be some sort of lacking of Louisville to kind of catch up to speed. I think that the better team, I think they have the more talent. They might even win this game, but I don't think they win it by more than a touchdown. And it's being played in a neutral field, right? At Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Georgia. It's going to be like a home game for Georgia Tech and a home opener. I like the spot. Georgia Tech, we do have to, I think that defense, I wouldn't say they're crazy good, but that pass defense is fairly good. The secondary is definitely capable of returning a lot of those guys as well. So if Brom's going to want to, throw a Plummer out there and pass the ball a lot, I think Georgia Tech's going to force a couple turnovers in that environment that should be neutral, but it's going to feel like a home game, right? And in a new scheme where guys may be making mistakes, cutting one way instead of the other, that type of thing. I think we see a couple turnovers out of Louisville as well. So give me Georgia Tech plus 7.5. Again, I don't necessarily think that Georgia Tech wins this game. I could see it happening, but we're taking the points for the reason. Give me the points here, plus 7.5. You can get that for minus 110 over on Caesars. I don't think I mentioned where we're getting minus 6.5 for Utah. That is at minus 110 over on BetMGM. And again, we're using OddsJam to find the best prices and the best lines for all of these games. Let's move on to the next game. For our third game here in today's video, we are looking at Washington hosting Boise State. This is our total play. We're looking at the over 58.5, minus 105 over on BetMGM. You have two offenses here that do two completely different things. Boise State loaded at running back, plenty of capable guys there, right? I think they're going to run. In Washington, I don't necessarily think they're going to stop the run. So I kind of envision this game as every time Boise State gets the ball, they're going to run it down the field, right down Washington's throat, and probably put up points, right? But then you have Washington on the flip side, the best passing team, or leading the nation in passing last year with Michael Penix Jr. At the helm yet again. I think they're going to answer pretty much every single time. So I think you have two offenses. Yes, Boise State's defense is there. I'll give them credit, but I think as good as they are, that Washington passing offense is just that much better. So give me the over in this game. I think it's going to be a quick-paced game. I don't think necessarily Washington's going to get out to a huge lead just due to the fact that Boise State is going to control the ground game. So if they do want to slow it down, yes, it would kill the over. But if drives result in points, I'll take the over any day of the week. I also don't hate Penix Jr.'s over in passing yards. We don't have the line yet. Obviously, this is, I think it's a Sunday game if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see what that line comes out to be. But I think it's a Saturday game actually. But we'll see what that line comes out to be, because if it's anywhere around, I think he's going to pass for nearly 300 yards. So if we're looking at a line that's like 265 or 270, like it should be, I like the over in this spot as well, because I think they're going to get a lot of opportunity to throw the ball. So give me the over 58.5 at minus 105 over on BetMGM. In the last game of, we are looking at the premier event here. We have LSU taking on Florida State in this one here. A lot of back and forth in this one. The discussion's out there about who's going to win this game. Right now, the spread is at 2.5, but we are actually looking at the money line, and I'm backing the Tigers here, pretty much for the reason being Jaden Daniels, Heisman candidate here, the entire offensive line returning. He's got the weapons on offense, and I don't necessarily think that, this is going to be a blowout type game, so I'm kind of foregoing taking the points, because minus 2.5, I could see them winning this game, but I don't want to rely on having to win by a field goal, right? But I don't hate it if you do want to take better odds here too. But I also looked at the over in this one, but it just seems too public. Both these teams have good quarterbacks that can do multiple things, good offenses. Like, it just seems a little bit too public to take the over. I think it was sitting at like 55.5, 54.5, something like that, right? So if you like the over, go right ahead. If I'm leaning in that direction, if I do end up pulling the trigger, I'll put it in the pinned comment here. But yeah, I do like LSU. I think that they're the favorites. Or I think that they're going to be one of the best teams, if not the best team in college football this year, which, is a popular opinion, but by some people, not popular, right? So give me Jaden Daniels to lead this team with a bunch of guys returning, a very strong offensive line, and a bunch of weapons on offense to dismantle this Florida State defense. And guys, that is all we have for today's video. Ran through it fairly quickly. Let me know the format of the video you guys like. Obviously, we can't do what we do in the NBA or MLB, which is go through each and every game because there's a million college games. But make sure you guys drop in the comments what games you want me to cover next week, because I want to look at some of the more popular games, which for today's video, the games this weekend in week 1, I looked at what I really liked, which obviously I'll include those in the videos, but I'd love to have like featured games of the week and everything like that. Like I knew I couldn't miss that Florida State LSU game, right? But nonetheless, guys, that is what I have for you in today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. If you are new, make sure you're checking out all our other videos. We're posting videos every day for MLB. We'll be doing a bunch for the NFL, not just one video a week. We'll be doing a bunch of videos for the NFL and then college football weekly videos as well, guys. And make sure to check out the Fade Me store, fademe.store, and go ahead and check out OddsJam, 7 days free and 25% off your first month. That's all I got for you guys today. Hope you guys did enjoy. I'll catch you guys in the next one, right? Peace out.